Part 170. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1691. Chapter 1691. Can you please not leave? Shen Xin was stunned for a moment, then looked at him in surprise. There is not much time left before the college entrance examination. If you change schools at this time, it will have an impact on your academic performance. If it is because of the rumors in the school, I can help you clarify it. From now on, I won't let anyone talk nonsense about you again. So, can you please not leave? I want to continue to be classmates with you. I'm sorry, it's because I'm too slow that I didn't realize I fell in love with you until now. However, I will tell you everything now to save you. Will you give me another chance? From now on, I will never hurt you again. Shen Xin was stunned. Shen Xin, please don't transfer to another school, okay? Qiao Chen's face was slightly hot, and he looked at her and said again, I hope you can stay. We have been classmates for several years, and you suddenly left. Now, I feel unaccustomed to it. If there is any problem, we can solve it together. As long as you stay, there is no problem that cannot be solved. Qiao Chen's intention to stay was already obvious. Shen Xin was stunned for a while, and then gradually came back to her senses. She finally believed that she was not dreaming. Qiao Chen really confessed to her just now. He is still trying to keep her. She has liked him for so many years. She thought it was just her wishful thinking, but she didn't expect that she would get everything she wanted most. The person she likes finally responds to her. She spent several years in love and finally got a response. Things she had never dared to dream about have finally become a reality. This surprise that fell from the sky directly stunned her. Her mind went blank, as if her computer had crashed. For a while, she was unable to think at all. Qiao Chen, after a few minutes, she finally found her voice. You know, if you had said these words to me earlier, I would have been so happy that I fainted with excitement. In fact, I am also very happy now. But I think I can't agree to your request. Qiao Chen was stunned and his expression changed. Why? Shen Xin smiled, but tears flashed in her eyes. Qiao Chen, it's too late. You just said that you didn't consider my feelings for you before because you felt that our identities were not a good match. In fact, now, the status still doesn't match. He became the noble young master of the Mo family. And she is just a down-and-out daughter. There are a few people in the Shen family who can still look up to them. What is the difference between her now and Qiao Chen before? She is not even qualified to talk about feelings now. Qiao Chen was startled. Qiao Chen, I didn't decide to transfer to another school alone. Shen Xin's eyes turned red and she said with a smile, so it's not just because I want to stay. I will leave in a few days. It's Cloud City. Qiao Chen felt as if something had stabbed him in the heart. He thought that as long as he stayed, Shen Xin would definitely stay. So he never thought that Shen Xin would really leave. He suddenly panicked and didn't know what to do. Qiao Chen, you are now the young master of the Mo family. You will definitely have a bright future in the future, and the girl who is worthy of you will definitely be a noble socialite. However, I can listen to you say these words to me before leaving. Very happy and satisfied. I think I won't have any regrets anymore. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1692. Chapter 1692. There is no need to have any more bonds. Qiao Chen's mind was numb. Do you have to leave? Shen Xin said softly, everything has been arranged at home, I can't be willful. Qiao Chen, you know what's going on in my family right now. My parents have already worked hard enough for this family, and I don't want them to worry about my affairs anymore. This is probably what the Shen family is like, and there is no hope of getting up again. Shen Xian, I asked your brother-in-law for you. Jiao Chen didn't want her to misunderstand, maybe it's because of my sister, my brother-in-law. Jiao Chen, I know you must have helped. Shen Xian interrupted him softly before he could finish speaking. Actually, I understand that brother Yesi doesn't want to help. The Shen family has lost too much money. There are too many funds that need to be injected. From brother Yesi's point of view, it is normal that he is unwilling to take this risk. Besides, my sister has done some very bad things to your sister before. I can see that brother Yesi loves your sister very much, so I can understand it. The Shen family has fallen into this situation. There's no one to blame. If the company's internal problems are not resolved, it will go bankrupt sooner or later. It's just because the stock price suddenly fell and it went bankrupt ahead of time. You don't blame my brother-in-law. Well, it's not strange. If the Shen family manages the business properly, even if it encounters difficulties, it can be solved by itself. If it can't be solved this time, it means there are problems with its own management. Even if the Mo family helps, they may still face difficulties in the future. Same question. Shen Xian smiled, as if she took all this glory and wealth very lightly. Anyway, for me, as long as our family is still here, that's enough. Jiao Chen knew that there was no way he could keep Shen Xian here. He felt empty in his heart, as if a piece was missing somewhere, and he felt extremely uncomfortable. Then where will you transfer to another school? Shen Xian was silent for a moment. It's better not to know. Jiao Chen, I hope to leave cleanly. I hope that after leaving Yunjinj, I can live a new life. As for everything here, it will become a journey in the future. Beautiful memories. Since it was no longer possible for her and him, Shen Xian didn't want to give herself any more hope. I don't want to leave him any hope. She knows all too well what it feels like to love without knowing it. She suffered in pain for 3 years and did not want Jiao Chen to follow her old path. His feelings for her should not be deep yet, so as long as she leaves, he will slowly forget about her before too long. And she will try her best to forget him. Therefore, there is no need for any bond between them. Forgetting each other is the best choice. Jiao Chen clenched his fists, his face turned a little pale, his lips were tightly closed and he said nothing. Shen Xian also pursed her lips and remained silent for a few minutes. I'm a little sleepy. Shen Xian spoke again, breaking the silence. Jiao Chen, thank you for coming to see me. You'd better go back quickly, it's not good for people to find out you're not here. Shen Xian said, covering her lips and yawning a few times, looking like she was really sleepy. Jiao Chen's motionless body finally moved a little, and his lips also moved. He had a lot to say. But in the end, he swallowed those thousands of words. Okay, he spoke again, his voice hoarse, then you have a good rest. You can always tell me when you are leaving, right? Meeting Shen Xian's gaze, he pursed his lower lip and said with a sour smile, it's a classmate meeting. I'll see you off. It should be fine. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1693. Chapter 1693. She and I, we have no chance. Shen Xian hesitated for a few seconds and told him the date of departure. Asterisk. After coming out of the hospital and getting into the car, Jiao Chen looked a little dazed. Even the driver noticed that he was a little abnormal. Young master, are you okay? Jiao Chen shook his head, I'm fine. But you look a little tired? Are you going back to Mo's house now, or to Zushui Villa? Zushui Villa is the Zhuangzi of Mo Xingshu, and it is also Jiao Chen's current second home. Chiao Chen's eyes showed exhaustion. Go to Jingyang Road. The small apartment he bought himself is on Jingyang Road. Except for Chiao Mian, he has not taken anyone else there. That small world is his private space. When he encounters any troubles and doesn't want to face others, he will go there. Jingyang Road. Okay, I'll take you there right away. Although the driver felt confused, he glanced at the expression on Chiao Chen's face in the rearview mirror and didn't dare to ask any more questions. This young master seems to have a good temper. They are gentle in speech and deeds. They are also very polite to the employees below them and will not put on airs with them. However, the driver is often responsible for picking up and dropping off Chiao Chen, and he is very observant of his actions. Naturally, he can tell whether Chiao Chen's personality is really gentle. This young master seems to have a good temper and is easy to talk to. But it's actually not that easy to talk about. If you make him unhappy, he will also lose his temper. Asterisk. At a banquet. Chiao Mian sent Chiao Chen a WeChat message to ask about Shen Xian's situation. After a while, Chiao Chen replied to her. The doctor said that her condition was not very serious and she would be fine after staying in the hospital for a while. Chiao Mian felt a little relieved after seeing his reply. She has met Shen Xian several times, and because she has a good impression of Shen Xian, she doesn't want such a beautiful and cute girl to have any problems with her legs. Chiao Mian, are you still in the hospital? Chiao Chen, I left. Chiao Mian looked at the time and was a little surprised. Why not stay in the hospital for a little longer? At this time, girls are very fragile and need someone to care and take care of them. If you don't earn performance at this time, when will you? After knowing what her brother was thinking about Shen Xian, Chiao Mian spoke more directly. She sent this sentence, and it took several minutes before Chiao Chen responded to her. Chiao Chen, she said she was sleepy, so I left. Besides, I don't think I need to earn performance anymore. Chiao Mian immediately saw that there was something wrong with this sentence. She quickly asked, why? Don't you like someone, but now you don't? Chiao Chen, sister, when Shen Xian's leg recovers, she will leave Yunchenj. I listened to your suggestion and tried to keep her, but she said she had to follow her family's arrangements. Sister, she and we have no chance. Chiao Mian had a surprised look on her face when she saw this reply. Early when Chiao Chen talked to her before, she knew that the friend he was talking about must be Shen Xian. She also guessed that Chiao Chen would try to persuade him to stay. It's just that this result was something she didn't expect. Chiao Chen, sister, I won't come back. If anything happens, please ask my brother-in-law to help me deal with it. Chiao Mian guessed that Chiao Chen was probably in a bad mood. After she finished replying, she felt a little hungry and picked up a plate of snacks on the table. A shadow fell in front of her eyes. She raised her head and saw Tanya holding a glass of red wine in her hand and sitting down opposite her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1694. Chapter 1694. The provocation is too obvious. Miss Jiao, there is no one here, can I sit here? Tanya shook the wine glass in her hand and asked with a smile. Chiao Mian was stunned for a moment, then nodded lightly and said, yeah. Chiao Mian and Tanya are not familiar with each other. So after responding for a moment, he lowered his head to attack the nod on the plate and did not look at Tanya again. But she could feel that Tanya had been looking at her. Chiao Mian just pretended not to know and concentrated on eating her snacks. Tanya looked at her with interest. Seeing her calmly continuing to eat the food on the plate, her eyes couldn't help but feel a little more appreciative. She looks like a weak and silly girl, but her temperament and appearance are not the same. But this is fine. If she was really just a stupid fool with no brains, she would find it meaningless. She still prefers things that are more challenging. Miss Jiao, of course Tanya could feel that Jiao Mian didn't want to talk to her, but she didn't mind. She took the initiative to talk to Jiao Mian. I heard MRSMO mention Miss Jiao before. I thought Miss Jiao was you are an unreasonable person, but today, Miss Jiao does not look like what MRSMO said. Could it be that MRSMO said that because of some conflict between Miss Jiao and MRSMO? Jiao Mian had just swallowed a piece of cake and raised her head when she heard the words. There was a hint of surprise in her eyes. Tanya met her gaze and did not dodge at all. She looked straight at her and smiled. Although this is the first time I have met Miss Jiao and I don't know you well, I think I can still tell something about a person's face. Character. I think Miss Jiao has a very gentle face, and she seems to be a very good-natured and kind-hearted person. Jiao Mian stared at Tanya in surprise for a few seconds, pursed her lips, and said in a very low voice, Miss Tang said this about my mother-in-law behind her back. Are you not afraid that I will turn around and tell her? I think my mother-in-law has a relationship with you. It's good, but it's not good for you to say these things behind her back. Tanya would say these words, which really surprised Jiao Mian. This is equivalent to saying bad things about MRSMO behind MRSMO's back. Jiao Mian could tell that MRSMO liked Tanya very much, and she looked at Tanya with eyes full of appreciation. This is the same as when she liked Shenro. MRSMO can bring Tanya home at such a banquet, which shows that she really values Tanya. But Tanya's performance was. Jiao Mian was not stupid either, and soon felt that Tanya was trying to sow discord between her and MRSMO. It is possible that MRSMO really said these words. But Tanya told her these words again. The provocative meaning in this is too obvious. When Jiao Mian looked at Tanya again, her eyes were a little more careful. I believe Miss Jiao will not be like this. Tanya's eyes were not flustered at all. She still looked calm and elegant. She pursed her lips and smiled. Besides, I was just telling the truth, so why did it become a bad thing? If I add insult to injury and say something that is untrue, then that's called bad words. The expression on Jiao Mian's face remained unchanged. After looking at her for a few seconds, she said calmly, but Miss Tang should know that since you told me that my mother-in-law said that I was unreasonable, you should have thought that after hearing these words, I would definitely dissatisfied with my mother-in-law. Ms. Tang is a friend of my mother-in-law. Is it advisable for you to sow discord between her and her daughter-in-law? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1695. Chapter 1695 is the type she hates the most. Tanya was stunned for a moment, then laughed again. Miss Jiao is overthinking. I didn't mean that. In fact, the relationship between you and MRSMO has been incompatible for a long time, and there is no need for me to provoke it. I will say these words are because I really think Miss Jiao is a good person, and I think MRSMO must have some misunderstanding about you, which is why your relationship is not harmonious. I hope I can find the problem and help you solve it. You are a family after all, and it's not good for your relationship to remain frozen like this. Of course Jiao Mian would not believe these words. For an outsider to worry so much about other people's family affairs, Jiao Mian simply didn't believe that she had good intentions. This was the first time she met Tanya and she didn't know much about her. But Jiao Mian trusted her intuition. When she first saw Tanya, she didn't feel very good. Even though Tanya seemed gentle and polite on the surface, her eyes gave Jiao Mian an uncomfortable feeling. Plus what she says and does now. Jiao Mian is almost certain that there must be something wrong with Tanya. I don't know where MRSMO knew her from, and she brought her home. Miss Tang, I won't let you, an outsider, worry about our family's affairs. Jiao Mian spoke again, in a very rude tone. Miss Tang, You should take care of yourself. I think my mother-in-law also sincerely appreciates you. No matter what her psychology is, Miss Tang should not do such a thing behind her back. I won't tell my mother-in-law about this, but I don't want Miss Tang to worry about our family's affairs anymore. After Chiao Mian said this, she stood up and left. Tang Ya looked at her back and squeezed the wine glass in her hand. This Chiao Mian is indeed not that easy to fool. I thought that the relationship between her and MRSMO had become so tense that a casual provocation would be useful. Unexpectedly, she was not fooled. It seems that it is not easy to drive a wedge between her and Mo Yesi. Thinking of this, Tang Ya pursed her lips and her face couldn't help but look a little ugly. She took a deep breath, raised her head, and drank the red wine in the glass in one gulp, then she felt a little better. No matter how difficult it is, so what? Tang Ya has decided to do what she wants to do, and no one can stop her. Not long after Chiao Mian left, Tang Ya was also ready to leave. Just as he was about to stand up, he felt a shadow pass before his eyes. When he raised his head, he saw a handsome and smiling face. The man's eyes were slender and long, with peach blossom eyes, a straight bridge of his nose, and his crimson lips raised in an evil arc. The whole person looked, an unserious feeling. Like a playboy. "Hi, beauty, may I meet you?" Yan Shaoqing raised the wine glass in his hand and sat down directly next to Tang Ya. He looked at Tang Ya with burning eyes and said, "Let me introduce myself first. My name is Yan Shaoqing. The president of Yan's enterprise is my eldest brother. I am 24 years old, 18 centimeters tall, and my current relationship status is single. Beauty, I think you are my type. Should we get to know each other?" Tang Ya looked at his careless look and frowned. Men like Yan Shaoqing are the type of men she hates the most. She immediately became cold-faced and wanted to just walk away. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1696. Chapter 1696. Beauty, can I get to know you? Just when he was about to have an attack, he suddenly thought of something, his face changed again, then he changed his mind and sat down firmly again. Yan's enterprise. Are you the young master of the Yan family? Tang Ya changed her disgusted look when she saw Yan Shaoqing just now. A smile appeared on her lips, and she seemed to be quite interested in him. Yan Shaoqing's peach blossom eyes curled up, and when he smiled, he looked even more serious. Yes. Beauty, can I get to know you? Tang Ya looked at him and smiled. When I first arrived in Yunqing, I didn't know many people. Of course I don't mind having more friends. That beauty, let's have a drink and add WeChat. Yan Shaoqing shook the wine glass and then his phone. When we are free later, let's all hang out together. This place in Yunqing is my territory. If you want, I can be your guide for free. There's nothing good to drink, eat, or have fun with that I don't know. I'll make sure you have a good time here. Tang Ya pondered for a moment, then curled her lips and said, "It sounds very good. How are you? Are you excited?" Yan Shaoqing put his face close to her and smiled. "Actually, we can make a date tonight." Tang Ya's face turned gloomy for a few seconds, but soon returned to normal. She stretched out her hand and pushed Yan Shaoqing's smiling handsome face away gently and gently. She leaned back slightly and said, "I'm not free tonight, let's try another day." Really? Yan Shaoqing still had a playful smile on his face. He sighed softly, as if he was sorry. "That's a pity. I originally wanted to wait until the banquet was over and invite the beauty to have a midnight snack together. It seems it's not working anymore." Tang Ya held back the anger and disgust in her heart and twitched the corners of her lips. "Well, it really won't work tonight. Then we can only wait for another day. Yan Xiaoqing sighed softly again. I won't ask you out another day. Are you busy? Tanya continued to endure. It's hard to say. I don't know if I will have anything else to do next. It doesn't matter. Yan Xiaoqing shamelessly approached her again, his handsome face magnified several times in front of her, and his eyes were full of frivolity. I am willing to wait. Whenever the beauty is free, we can make an appointment. As long as you say a word from the beauty, my time can be freed up for you right away. Tanya clenched her fists and said with a smile on her face, then when the time comes, I won't bother young Master Yan anymore. Shh. Yan Xiaoqing's slender peach blossom eyes narrowed slightly, and he said in a friendly tone, don't call me Master Yan, it's too unfamiliar. You can call me Xiaoqing, or a king. Tanya. She has long heard about the behavior of this young master of the Yan family. Now that I look at it, it is exactly the same as the rumors, and even more disgusting. If it weren't for her plan, she wouldn't want to deal with such a man at all. Asterisk. At the end of the banquet, Chiao Mian and Mo Yesi did not stay in Mo's house. After the banquet was over, they left with the others. After getting in the car, Chiao Mian was still thinking about Tanya, looking thoughtful. Mo Yesi saw that she was absent-minded and asked with concern, what's wrong? Did something happen? Why didn't she say a word after getting in the car? Well, something happened. Chiao Mian did not tell Mo about Tanya's behind-the-scenes instigation. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1697. Chapter 1697. What good will this do to her? Because she knew very well that the reason Tanya dared to tell her those words without restraint was because he was not afraid of her telling Mo. Given her current relationship with Mo would not believe her at all. And you will feel that she is the one who is instigating. So, she will not go to Mo to seek displeasure. But she can tell her husband about this matter. Mo Yesi turned his head and looked at her with deep eyes. What's the matter? Do you remember that Tanya? She is the woman that Mom brought back. Mo Yesi frowned and thought for a moment, then shook his head. I can't remember exactly what she looks like. What's wrong? What happened to you is related to her. Chiao Mian, you can't remember what she looks like. Although Tanya is not a stunning beauty who makes a deep impression on people at first glance, she is not an ordinary person who is so ordinary that she is easily forgotten. In fact, Chiao Mian was quite impressed by Tanya. Tanya's temperament is very unique, and it can add a lot of points to her less outstanding facial features. Chiao Mian later remembered that this should be the second time she saw Tanya. The first time was in a hospital. Mo Yesi raised his eyebrows. Well, I can't remember clearly. He really couldn't remember. He has met Zhang Luli several times, and because Zhang Luli and Chiao Mian are best friends, he can remember her appearance. The only woman who impressed him so much and remembered him right away was Chiao Mian. Chiao Mian, okay, then you should remember that Mom brought someone back tonight. Yeah, fortunately, Mo Yesi didn't say it or remember it this time, otherwise Chiao Mian wouldn't know what to say next. I think she seems to be trying to get close to the Mo family. Chiao Mian told Mo Yesi her guess, although I don't know what her purpose is yet, I think there must be something wrong with her. Hearing what she said, Mo Yesi was not surprised, but asked, why do you think so? Because she came to see me today. Chiao Mian told Mo Yesi one by one about Tanya's finding her and the instigation between her and Mo. I think she is deliberately provoking, but she was obviously brought back by her mother, so I can't figure out why she would do this. Mo Yesi was silent for a while after hearing this, then nodded and said, well, honey, your analysis is correct. She must be provoking. But why? Chiao Mian's eyes were full of confusion. What good will this do to her? Since mom brought her back, it means that their relationship should be very good. Why would she deliberately provoke it? That's unknown. Moyesi put his arm around her, but no matter what her purpose is, we just have to deal with it carefully. At least for now, we have noticed that she has evil intentions, and we will be more careful about this person in the future. No matter what tricks she uses, we just don't take them. Yechiao Mian lay on his chest, feeling that what he said made sense. She nodded and said, "You're right, we just don't accept the move. She probably provoked me like that today, so I guess she didn't look at me. I was fooled and seemed a little angry. My baby is so smart, how can it be easily deceived by others?" Moyesi placed his big hand on Chiao Mianmian's head and rubbed it gently, his gentle tone full of doting. "If she thinks you are one of those stupid, you are an ignorant woman who is so easy to deceive, you are so wrong." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1698. Chapter 1698, I am willing to be defeated. Even I fell into your hands, let alone others. Chiao Mian. Why did she feel like she was being flirted with again? You fell into my hands. She raised her little face and looked at the man's handsome and deep face with her dark eyes. When she met those deep eyes full of tenderness and doting, her heartbeat couldn't help but speed up. Moyesi lowered his eyes, raised his thin lips slightly, and lowered his voice as he said, "Well, from the beginning to the end, I've been completely disappointed. But I'm also willing to accept it." Chiao Mian was stunned for a moment, her little heart beating hard, faster and harder. Her husband is flirting with her all the time, and he often teases her until she blushes and her heart beats. What should she do? Waiting online, urgent. Asterisk. A few days after wrapping up, the urban romance drama If You Can't Love starring Chiao Mian and Chin Han has officially released its trailer, and the specific date for the TV series to be released has also been set. The official trailer is more than 10 minutes long. After it was aired, the response was unanimously positive. Because this drama involves Chin Han, it is directed by Bai Yusheng, and Chiao Mian is a topic queen who is hotly searched every day, so the attention is particularly high. As soon as the trailer was released, it was wildly forwarded by fans and passers-by. The drama has not been aired yet, and it has been trending several times based on the film. Chin Han is a powerful actor at the movie king level, and his acting skills are naturally impeccable. Some of the supporting roles in the play are all capable actors with many films under their belts, and their performances are as solid as ever. Only Chiao Mian, a vase actress who has been hacked countless times and relied on her connections to get roles, relied on the film's reputation. His performance was praised and became a hot topic. Some passers-by said that Chiao Mian's acting skills were seriously inconsistent with her appearance. Because her appearance is the standard vase appearance. The other vase actresses in the circle are all real vases, the kind who eat by leaning on their faces. Chiao Mian is an antique vase with both face and acting skills. Not only does it look good, it's also very useful. Her fans naturally praise her in all kinds of ways. Passengers said, originally, they were not interested in this drama because the female lead was Chiao Mian, but after watching the trailer, they felt it was still worth watching. What's going on? Am I crazy? I actually think Chiao Mian and Chin Han are quite similar. Someone come and wake me up. How can I think like this? The film looks pretty good. Chiao Mian is fairy-like and personable in it, while Chin Han is cold, domineering and affectionate. Their characters and storylines are very interesting. Is the overbearing CEO falling in love with a cold little fairy? Oh my god, Chin Han is so good at being a boyfriend in there. That Waldong with the knife in his chest is so seductive. I really want to be Waldong by him like that. After watching the trailer, I'm really looking forward to the main film. I think there are many things that you should not take sides easily before you really understand them. At first, it was said that Jiao Mian had no acting skills and that she only relied on connections to get the female lead. But now it seems that this is not the case. Yes, at least I think her acting skills are quite good. I'm not bragging, her acting skills in the trailer are really good. You have to remember that she is still a newbie, and it's great to be able to act like this opposite a movie king like Chin Han. If nothing else, Chin Han doesn't praise others easily. He has praised Jiao Mian for his good acting skills several times before. I don't think anyone forced him to say good things to Jiao Mian. I feel like he really appreciates this junior. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1699. Chapter 1699. Jiao Angzhen was scolded. After watching the trailer, I feel that Jiao Mian was able to get the role of the second female lead in Phoenix Flying. She must have fought for it herself. Her performance in many parts is quite amazing. As a newcomer, I feel that it's really good. Previously during the filming of Jiao Mian, the crew also released some clips. However, these were short-lived clips that were not well edited. Nor did I include the clips that best showcase Jiao Mian's acting skills. But the official trailer this time shows almost all kinds of exciting clips, and it's long enough. It's much better than the previous ones. You can naturally tell how good Jiao Mian's acting is. Jiao Mian even made a hot search for her several crying scenes in the film. Jiao Mian's crying scene is one of her best performances. She was able to choose that movie role because her crying scene added a lot of points to the overall performance. She was lucky that time. If it were another drama, her performance might not be amazing to the director and screenwriter, let alone the screenwriter to get her the role of the second female lead. Jiao Mian's crying scene was so contagious, just watching the trailer made me cry. I've seen so many actresses who put in eye drops to fake crying, and I think her crying scene is really good, at least she really cried, and her emotions were well rendered. I think her acting skills are 100 times better than Jiao Angzhen's. I heard that she has been in the industry for a few years. Even a like Jiao Angzhen who has little ability can become a top-notch person. If someone was willing to praise her, she would have done it long ago. It's red. Didn't you say that Suzy cheated on Jiao Angzhen? When Jiao Angzhen signed up for Xinggui, all the good resources of Xinggui were given to her alone. This Jiao Angzhen is really shameless. The man who stole his sister is not. He said that he was still hurting his sister in her career. If she hadn't acted like a monster, I think Jiao Mian would have become famous long ago. However, Jiao Angzhen issued a statement, saying that she did not know that Jiao Mian and Suzy were together at the time, and that she was also deceived by Suzy. But, does anyone believe such a flawless lie? Jiao Mian and Suzy have been together for 2 years, and she has not brought her boyfriend to meet her family in these 2 years. Doesn't Jiao Angzhen know that her sister is talking about if you are in love, don't you know who your sister's boyfriend is? Yes, that statement is so false, I don't believe a word of it. Why hasn't she been banned from such an artist with such a completely corrupt outlook? Because Jiao Mian was on the hot search, Jiao Angzhen was also on the hot search along with her. But Jiao Mian was on the hot search because she was praised. Jiao Angzhen was scolded. Hashtag Suzy. Hashtag various topics have been discussed with great joy by netizens. Originally, Jiao Angzhen issued a statement about this matter and spent money to clean it up. Gradually, few people mentioned it. As soon as the hot search went viral, the matter of her being Suzy's mistress was once again discussed by netizens. When Jiao Angzhen saw the hot search, she was so angry that her mouth was twisted. She is now with Kwandong and has also changed a brokerage company. Naturally, her broker has also changed. The new agent is called In Lin. After Chiao Angzhen saw the hot search, she immediately called In Lin. In Lin, please ask the company's public relations department to remove the hot search for me immediately. Kwandong has already promised her that she will appear on that variety show. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1700. Chapter 1700. She is so cruel. In order to appear on that variety show, she endured nausea and accompanied those old men. Thinking of those old men, Chiao An's stomach churned and she felt extremely sick. She was originally asked to accompany those old men, but she already felt disgusted enough. Who knows, those men are not only old and ugly, but also perverted. Chiao Angzhen looked down at the pinch marks on her arms and neck that had not disappeared, bit her lip, and her face turned a little pale. That night, she never wanted to think about it again. That was the most humiliating night for her in more than 10 years. The resources she had acquired so hard must not be ruined by those hot searches. At this moment, Chiao Angzhen hated Chiao Mian very much. This must be the fault of that little Chiao Mian. Otherwise, why would anyone mention her and Suzy again for no reason? The little now has the status of the daughter of the Bai family, and has a boyfriend as outstanding as Mo Yesi, but she still refuses to let herself go. I want to kill myself. She is so cruel. But Chiao Angzhen didn't think about it at this time. If Chiao Mian really wanted to kill her, there was no need to use such methods. Now Chiao Mian wants to deal with her easily. At that time, not even her backer Kwandong can control her. But Chiao Angzhen has been blinded by her hatred for Chiao Mian, and she will not think about these issues at all. I've asked the company's public relations department to handle it, and Lin received her call and said, slightly dissatisfied, the company just decided to let you go on variety shows to increase your popularity and audience popularity. You are making trouble at this time. This kind of news is very harmful to you. At that time, the program management will consider the artist's image, and if they don't let you go, you will suffer a huge loss. Do you know how many artists in the company are fighting for the variety show quota this time? Chiao Angzhen felt unhappy when she saw her hot searches. Now that In Lin talked about it, she felt even more unhappy. Relying on her relationship with Kwandong, she naturally did not take In Lin, a small agent, seriously. She cooled her voice and said with anger, "Why do you tell me not to make bad news at this time? Do you think I want to be in these news? Aren't I just asking you to solve the problem now? As an agent, aren't these the things you should do? I chose you as my agent to help me solve my problems. You just need to solve the hot topics, and you don't need to worry about other things." In Lin was spoken to mercilessly by her, and she was silent for a long time before speaking out, "I will solve the hot topics. Anyway, before you go on the show, don't have any other troubles. Good negative news. The reason why you are on the hot search this time is because of Chiao Mian. I don't know yet whether she asked her to do it. If so, this matter is still a bit tricky." When Chiao Angzhen heard this, her anger rose. Apart from the handiwork of this bitch, is there any other possibility? No matter how difficult it is, you must solve this matter for me. If you can solve even one hot search, then your ability as an agent will have to be questioned. After Chiao Angzhen finished speaking, she hung up the phone angrily without giving In Lin a chance to reply. End of this chapter.